It's not that I'm smart, it's that I just stay with problems longer. Albert Einstein. Keep that in mind, who said that. Now, my friends, that's what you need to do. Stick with us. You can learn how to do this, and when you do, you don't have to worry about how much time it took. Why? Because you'll make up for it very, very quickly when you master the charts. And the time is simply daily time, 10 to 15 minutes. That's all we ask. I encourage you on this each and every day because it's the most important thing you will do for success. I did an In the Driver's Seat recording for you guys today talking about what is the number one secret to learning how to trade. There's one word: persistence. Let's jump into these charts. We see everything down but gold again. And my silver position, I told you guys about that I took earlier. I think I took it last Thursday or Friday. Boom, up 1.38%. Gold up 0.77%. But let's start as we usually do with the S&P 500. Both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 down the same percent today, 0.42%, a little under 0.5%. Red down candle forming, price percent oscillator pulling away from the red signal line. We had it cross over, and now it looks like it's trying to negate that. Derivative oscillator still gaining a little bit of momentum. Red down candle forming. 2-day chart heading to a crossover going down. Is the 2-day going to cross over before we hit the end of the week? We shall see. Now again, strong red down candle on last Thursday the 7th, representing Wednesday and Thursday. Then you had Friday and Monday. And then this latest Tuesday candle heading down. Derivative oscillators also gone negative on the 2-day. Half day just continuing to trundle down. Price percent oscillator, derivative oscillator heading down. That's where we are on the S&P. NASDAQ 100, we see an even bigger down candle. Price percent oscillator never crossed over, pulling away from the red signal line. Derivative oscillator just a little more than flat. Go to the 2-day. 3 red down candles forming, lower low, getting close to a cross. Now, what would this be? This would be a 2-day recross. Check your charts on Wednesday afternoon to see if you have a 2-day recross going down. Important potential opportunity for practice trading. Derivative oscillator already red. We look at the half day. Indecision in the morning and then tumbling over in the afternoon, lower low. That's where we are on stocks. What about bonds? Bonds down 0.15%. Big red down candle. Price percent oscillator heading down. Derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum on the 2-day. Again, just trundling on down. As we see bonds just continuing to move down strongly, we of course have a 2-day recross in effect with that weekly that's been going down for quite a while. Derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. Half day, we can see where, like the NASDAQ 100, some indecision in the morning and then over in the afternoon. Price percent oscillator heading down a little bit. Derivative oscillator losing some downward momentum. So slow down in the go down is what we can call that now. Gold, the bright spot, nice green up candle on the weekly. Price percent oscillator heading up after being flat for a few weeks here. We see the derivative oscillator still losing upward momentum. But again, nice to see that price percent oscillator heading up. 2-day, closer and closer to a 2-day crossover going up. Derivative oscillator negative but losing downward momentum. Price percent oscillator, like I said, getting close to a crossover going up. See where gold boomed up in the morning, bled off a little bit in the afternoon. You can see that also in how the price percent oscillator lost some of that upward angle. Still heading up quite nicely. Derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. So gold is a bright spot. And again, that 2-day recross, look for that, mark that down, just like the 2-day recross going down that we were looking for in the NASDAQ 100. So one up, one down. Now, let's look at what's up with Bitcoin. When we look at Bitcoin, we can see Grayscale Bitcoin down 1.44%. We can see our Bitcoin futures down, and we'll just run through them, 1.69, 1.81, and our favorite XBTF 1.76. Why is it my favorite? It has the lowest fees. It's the one that I buy and sell. So again, you can practice trade any of these, or again, if you're using TradingView, you can practice trade any of the cryptocurrencies on, and look at what's going on the various exchanges that they chart. But let's look at the New York Stock Exchange Bitcoin Index. We see a big red down candle forming. Looks like, wait a second, that's not it. There we go. Got a red down candle forming. Price percent oscillator, because when I looked, I was like, it's not crossed over like that. On the weekly, red down candle forming, derivative oscillator positive, losing momentum, price percent oscillator positive, heading down after we just had it cross over going up. Now, it's not crossed yet. Not going to give up hope yet. But this would be not something that we've really seen happen in quite a while, for it to cross and then cross back over. But that's extremely possible in the crazy times in which we live. So we'll keep an eye on things. Derivative oscillator still positive. Price percent oscillator still positive, but both heading down. We see on the 2-day, this is where we have the possible crossover going down. That won't happen until that candle finishes drawing. If we have a big up day on Wednesday, then of course this Tuesday, first day of the latest 2-day candle, the price percent oscillator could pull right back through. Derivative oscillator is also negative. And we look at the half day. I tell you what, I like to go to XBTF because, again, New York Stock Exchange only reports once a day. What we see with XBTF is, of course, you get readings in the morning and the afternoon. We can see down in the morning, further down in the afternoon, price percent oscillator heading down, derivative oscillator flat. So again, lots of downward push on Bitcoin. And, again, crazy market. The nice thing is, isn't it, my friends, to be able to read a stock chart, to know what's actually going on, instead of simply hearing things on the news and wondering and being sometimes, or maybe many times, or maybe all the time misled as to what's actually happening. So again, pay attention. Every day, 10 to 15 minutes, that's all we ask. Patreon members, of course, tomorrow I will be putting out for you Charting Crypto. If you'd like our Charting Crypto podcast, our recording, our YouTube, then by all means consider becoming a Patreon supporter. We also send out 20 weekly vertical crossovers on the S&P 500. Each and every week we shoot for 10 up and 10 down, but sometimes they're just not as many down or not as many up. We fill that in with the other side. So we appreciate all of our Patreon supporters. We work really hard to make your investment at any of the 3 levels we have worth it. And we thank you so much for supporting us and helping underwrite all the costs to provide this information to you each and every day for free. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.